here in Suzhou. This is the Suzhou International Expo Centre, and things are hotting up. I'm Johnny Cowan, and I'm joined by Gavin Rumgay, and we're going to be covering the men's singles last 16. We're down to 2 courts here in the venue now. There were 8 tables in the venue at the start of the week. Went down to 4 as we made our way through the last 64, last 32 of events. But now we're into the last 16, and the 2 men's singles on the table that we aren't able to see. Ma Long of China taking on Jo Se-hook of the Republic of Korea. But there on table for us, Gavin, our lineup is Fang Bo of China against XU Xin of China.
As we can see in the picture, XU Xin in yellow, just warming up the forehand there, lovely and smooth. They're just going through the formalities as they've been in the practice hall. I was watching them over the last hour. I came in the bus nice and early, and it's excellent to see them going through their routines in the practice hall. So it's just a comfortable 2-minute knock-up. Umpire Mikita Darek.
So last 16 here. 3 of the top 16 seeds haven't made it through to the last 16. The biggest surprise of all, probably the number 6 seed from Germany, Dmitry Ovcharov, went down 4-3 in an absolute thriller against Lee Sang-soo of the Republic of Korea. And Lee Lang-soo, he's made it right through to the last 16. Also missing from the last 16 round is Marcus Freitas, who lost to Patrick Franziska, who we'll see later. And also Chuang Chi-yuan from Chinese Taipei, semi-finalist in London 2012, didn't make it through. Was also knocked out of the doubles. Huge surprise. But there is XU Xin, world rank number 2 and 25 years old, against there in the screen slightly younger Fang Bo, 23 and world ranked at number 14. So in terms of world ranking, Gavin, XU Xin the favourite, but you just never know in a World Championships.
XU Xin the definite favourite. Very comfortable also when he has a high percentage of wins in the Chinese Super League against the other top Chinese players as well. He's in form. Last night, though, suffering a little bit from an injured shoulder. As soon as after he came off the mixed doubles, got a little bit of ice directly on that. So we'll have to watch that as the match progresses.
And interestingly, you know, could have been a result of some of the tests that he's had here in Suzhou. Last 32, XU Xin, round 3, had a massive scare against Russia's Alexander Shibayev. He led 2-0, the Russian, with XU Xin eventually coming through 4-2. Not so much difficulty for Fang Bo, who gets us underway with a serve. He beat India's Sharath Kamala Shanta 4-0 in the last round. So he's on form and he starts well. Serve and third ball attack on the forehand from Fang. Takes a 1-0 lead. These players have played 3 times on the World Tour. And it's XU Xin who leads 2-1. However, Fang Bo won the last encounter last year, 2014 Swedish Open. That was a 4-2 victory. XU Xin, trademark sequence there from him. Wonderful service sequence, generates a lot of spin on his serve. Follows it in with a wonderful windmill. Powerful forehand. Difficult to know which way he's going to go with it. Watch how Fang Bo receives there, Gavin. Right over the table. His racket's actually resting on the table. Trying to put a bit of pressure on XU Xin. Ready for the short one, but of course can recover quickly to play the long one should it come long.
That's been 2 long serves already. Just trying to catch XU Xin off guard.
Just observing that none of the 3 Chinese players on court right now, these 2 guys and Ma Long on the other court, none of them wearing the red shirt for China. Mixed Shirts here, yellow for XU Xin. Fang Bo in like a blue and pinky purple. And Ma Long's gone for the black. I'm sure they have plenty of shirts in their bags for a tournament of this length, number of matches these guys play. Bit of laundry here and there. Oh, it's just clipped the edge.
And when XU Xin relaxes, he can be very spectacular at the back of the court as well. Lovely opening up. Backhand topspin from Fang Bo. Technique flawless. Looked like he could have opened up down the line there as well at the last second then, wrapping his wrist around the side of the ball.
Nice little serve from Fang Bo. Was drifting long. A little bit hesitant from XU Xin. Didn't quite read it either. Two lucky balls, I guess, from XU Xin so far in this opening game. One on the edge, that one was the net. 5-all. Spin, generates a lot of spin, uses a lot of wrist, XU Xin. Never ceases to amaze me how many people miss the block. Even his compatriots who train with him on a regular basis, underestimating the amount of spin generated by this man.
It's the first time in the match so far that he's served straight down the line. Up till now, XU Xin had been targeting the wide forehand service. And that's twice now. That little reverse serve coming straight down the line. Side and topspin both times. Didn't really look to be any upward motion on that though, so it is quite difficult to read. And that's a lot more spectacular there from XU Xin. You feel that he's going to win those rallies. Big arcing loop to loop. We see on screen there. Big arcing loop. Fang Bo just mistiming his forehand.
Big arcs. Great view, Gavin, of the XU Xin footwork.
And then when he gets himself into position, it's that acceleration through the ball.
Missed that one though. So good atmosphere in the venue here. Table tennis still one of the biggest sports in China, and massive following so far on the TV as well. Last two nights have had 80 million viewers on CCTV. Events are live to 170 countries, which is a record. And we have a record number of media accreditation at this World Championships, over 1,000. incredible interest for the game. And just earlier this week at the AGM, more countries joining the family, now up to 222 national associations, so the biggest sport ahead of volleyball and football through FIFA. Testament to the ITTF and all the work that they do around the globe on the World Tour with the events and of course the development program. So Fang Bo serving 8-9. That's a great ball right down the middle. White line stuff. Seemed to kick a little bit. XU Xin missing it entirely. 9-all. What a start to this one, Gavin.
XU Xin had put all the work on that ball from opening up. So then it's just a case of getting your racket onto it and it's going to automatically ping back in the direction of XU Xin. Big sequence now. Does he go back to the trademark high toss serve? What's he going to do?
Will he go short? Will he go long? I fancy short topspin. Oh, follows it up with a forehand. Right down the line. Great view on the camera angle.
And he makes this haul look ridiculously quick. And it isn't.
Great opener from Fang Bo. Difficult to take those ones, Gavin. Fang Bo kept it low and spinny. Very difficult to return those ones. Even the feeling of XU Xin couldn't do anything with it.
It's clever when you know you're going to get that extra purchase on the ball, not to just spin up straight onto the backhand block, somewhere else to try and tempt the other player to go for the big reloop.
Massive counter loop there. Pumped fist from XU Xin. World number 2 behind Ma Long. Looked like a float serve. Hopped slightly, allowed XU Xin to attack, this time with the reverse backhand. And it's 12-10, game 1, XU Xin.
Second game, XU Xin to serve, love all. No, he's getting a try.
So players back out.
Second game,
XU Xin just takes that one, 12-10. A little bit edgy, Gavin. I guess both players just trying to play themselves into this last 16 encounter.
And sometimes because these players know each other so well, they don't put in as many big serves that would work against a lot of the European players. So it is a cagey affair, early doors.
XU Xin getting a few cheers from the crowd.
Fang Bo's served a lot of lets so far. There's 2 or 3 in a row in the first set as well.
Quite a European style to his service action. You know, Xu Xin's obviously very unique. Pen-hold grip, bends down low. Fang Bo quite high in his action. He stood quite tall when he goes into it. We see him here. Stands quite tall and he comes to it. Different to Xu Xin's. And for a reasonably small guy, Fang Bo, he's got a massive arc on his technique. Really lets his arm come away from his body. Gives himself that lever effect. Generate the power, particularly on the forehand side. Oh, love the reverse backhand. It's a shot that's come into the game over recent years. Pen holders traditionally used to have the pen hold backhand where the wrist bends right over the top, but they are now developed through the likes of Wang Hao. Now Xu Xin, wonderful, great timing. He's playing quite aggressive here, Gavin.
Look how deceptive that one was again. When he's stepping round the corner and hitting forehands from there, very difficult for the opponent to see the direction that the ball's going to come back at. An important sequence now. Trying to stay with Xu Xin.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get him away. Give him the chance to build up a little bit of a cushion.
I like so far when Fang Bo does the little reverse topspin serve. And there he goes again. It's the same service that's worked wonders in the first set to get a few of the points. An action where he's not really coming up on the ball, but depends. He's hitting the ball slightly on the back of the rubber surface, so it's creating less spin. You always feel at the business end of a set that's when Xu Xin moves even better to get that forehand in. If he's loose, relaxed, the backhand flows too. You can just see at this level the slow dribbly spin, it's just not working. These guys are too quick. Look at that as he jumps through the ball.
Xu Xin will be keen to go further than he did in Paris in 2013, losing in the semi-final there to Zhang Jiku. 4 Chinese made up the semi-final in the men's in Paris 2 years ago. Fang Bo wasn't one of them. He too will be hungry to move through the rounds. 7-4 now, Xu Xin 1-0. He's starting to gain momentum here.
Wonderful feeling there from Fang Bo. Was given a lot of spin to have to deal with. Soft hand, jumping the racket out of the hand to ensure that that ball was caressed back onto the table.
.7-5 with the serve. Big advantage now for the man in yellow. 25-year-old world number 2. Oh, for a man as a massive swing, Fang Bo there. It's interesting how the 2 balls had different trajectories. The first one, spin. Here we'll see it again. Takes it a little bit later, spins it up. Next one, right off the bounce. Bam, out the angles. Wonderful timing. Good footwork required for that too. It's a nice receive from Fang Bo. Prevents XU Xin from attacking and playing those big top spins of his. Interesting now, 7-7. Neither player really found the rhythm here. First couple of games, edgy stuff.
See the early timing there on that forehand. A lot of players, when the serve drifts long, they drop the racket underneath the table. The top Chinese players don't need to do that because their footwork is so speedy.
That's a big ball from XU Xin. Fang Bo's lost a little bit of a chance there. He'd won the 2 serves against XU Xin previously. He's lost his 2. Just hesitant, Fang Bo there. He knew the serve was coming off. He looked as if he'd played it 3 or 4 times in his mind. It was high, it was bouncy, and XU Xin punished it. He now has 3 game points. And if you're watching out there, feel free to get in touch with Gavin and I. Hashtag ITTF Worlds 2015. Hashtag Ask the Commentator. Send through your questions and we'll endeavour to answer them. Mistake from Fang Bo. And that's a little bit of a reprieve for XU Xin. Fang Bo had got back to 7-all from 7-5 down, and he loses 4 in a row. XU Xin, 11 points to 7, now has a 2-0 lead.
Time. Third game. Fang to serve. Level.
So players not messing around here. Just obviously interesting. 2 Chinese players taking the break between the games. No Chinese coach on the floor here. Obviously the coaches allowing the players to fight it out themselves. Straight back at the table, you find without a coach, they don't spend as much time between the games. XU Xin in the ascendancy at 2-0. And just on the other court, Ma Long steaming now. Just won the 3rd game 11-9 against the Republic of Korea's Jo Se-hook. He's now 3-0 up, the world #1. Ma Long. Looks like he's going to go through to the quarterfinals, Gavin. Which of these 2 will join him? Lovely return there. Came right across to the backhand, created a lot of angle and punished that defensive lobby shot from XU Xin there, did Fang Bo. Oh, it's a beautiful counter topspin right down the middle of the table. Very straight arm when he goes through that topspin.
Just hope now he can relax into the match, Fang Bo. Fantastic start to this set. Now we can relax, put in a few bigger serves.
Question coming through on Twitter from Mimi. Just wondering, is the crowd relatively quiet compared to previous years? No drums or chants? Possibly. Possibly, although there have been some scares and so on here. So maybe it's just an element of trepidation, an element of wariness not to get too excited too early. We had the scare of XU Xin there in his last match against Shibaev. He came through. We've had some seeds fall. Maybe the crowd are just a little bit nervous at this stage. Still early doors in these matches though. No doubt it will ramp up. I guess another element, Gavin, is two Chinese playing, so the crowd won't probably want to take any sides particularly. And Ma Long's coasting really against Jo Se-hook, so perhaps not the time to be overexcited from a crowd point of view.
Crowd just getting into it. It's a long day, lots of fantastic matches to come later on. It is amazing how many times he's able to hunt the half-long ball. To a lot of players outside the top 20 or 30 in the world, that ball is not actually there to attack.
And we've had timeout called by Fang Bo. And again, there you see no coaches giving any advice. Gavin, I wonder what both of them will be thinking. Fang Bo's clearly called the timeout. He maybe feels he's not really concentrated at 4-5, 5-4. Maybe just needing to settle himself a little bit.
It's been a feature of a lot of tournaments this season where players do call earlier timeouts. Use the timeout to your advantage.
Just see a glimpse on the big screen there as Fang Bo turned to come back to the table. Lu Guliang looking after Ma Long on the other table.
I would like to see Fang Bo reverting back to the side spin, top spin, reverse serve. That's where he's managed to win a good percentage of points so far.
Not many rallies in this match so far either. I think Fang Bo's really a interesting style. Doesn't really contain XU Xin. Not really as many rallies as you would see with the likes of a Ma Long, Zhang Jike.
And both players so familiar with each other's games that they're making a lot of these big reloops as well. And you feel as well, XU Xin's relaxed and his backhand's pinging all around the table. He is a different class and he really does have a chance to possibly lift the title here.
Oh, it's a great block. Fang Bo might have been better going parallel there or into XU Xin's body. He's gone right into the backhand. XU Xin's been able to get his racket to it, ping it back right down the line. Look at that. So once again, we find ourselves at 5-7, and once again, it's Fang Bo who trails.
Get back to reverse serving, that's what he needs.
Unusual body language from XU Xin. Frustration perhaps that he's missed the serve.
It's one of his little trick shots there. Pretends to go early, waits, hits it a little bit late, trying to affect the opponent's timing. And there it is. The reverse serve, it benefits him because the ball will ping over to the right-hand side of the table so that he can get in with that fast forehand. When he serves with left-hand side, the ball's coming back into his backhand side, and he doesn't look so comfortable there at this current moment.
So we were at 7-7 in the last game, and Xu Xin won 4 points in a row. Let's see what happens here. Well, it's not going to be the same scenario. Interestingly, frustration again coming into the Xu Xin game, Gavin. You don't see that very often at all. It's got to be a slight sniff here for Fang Bo. He's got to think he's got a little bit of a chance to just sneak this one.
That's much better there. Starting with the low spin into the forehand. You see a lot of these top players, once they've made the first spin, it's that next ball as well. They're on top of that. It's not a slow spin and then another slow spin.
Very edgy still, even in this game 3.
I'd love to see a little stat though on how many points Fang Bo's managed to win after he does his little reverse serve.
He's going for it, Gavin. And he's won the point.
And this is where if you did actually have a coach in the corner, he'd be noticing that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, maybe he's noticed it too at 9-8, that's a key point. He's played it at the key point, maybe he does know it. Xu Xin now, what can he do with his serves at 8-10? He's missed it, he's fresh-aired it, has Xu Xin. He's gone for the reverse backhand. And very steady play from Fang Bo on that tactic as well, Gavin, that you mentioned with the reverse serve. Just manages to pinch it 11-8, brings it back to 2-1, and we'll see if he continues with that tactic that you noticed there, Gavin, on the reverse serve.
Serve, level.
Straight back into it, game 4. Xu Xin 2-1. Let's see what happens, Gavin, on that tactic then that you spotted at the end of the last game in terms of Fang Bo's serve. Also interesting to see how Xu Xin goes if he is indeed having trouble. You mentioned in the introduction, you saw that there was an ice pack involved after the mixed doubles last night, Gavin, so it'll be interesting just to see how that pans out. Doesn't seem to be in any distress at the moment, but Fang Bo's coming into this really big time. Big time. Great start in game 4, 3-0.
And if you do have an injury, it's going to get worse when there's scoreboard pressure and you start to drop sets.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to watch the players' behaviour in those situations. A particular big match in tennis over recent months saw one of the top guys behave a little bit oddly, perhaps pretending that he was injured a little bit. Wasn't such a good moment, in my opinion. Hopefully these guys can stay true to themselves. If you're injured, right? That's life. For me, you just gotta kind of keep going and give it your best shot. No excuses, really. Unfortunate if you are injured, definitely. However, that's life. It's not easy being a sportswoman or a sportsman. But Fang Bo here, he's taking it to XU Xin.
He started to play a little bit more productively, wide and wide, stopping XU Xin to get two potent forehands in a row.
Looks quite composed, Fang Bo.
It's never a bad play. Sometimes serving off once every set, it's not actually as bad as it looks there, because sometimes that keeps your opponent guessing.
Demonstrates that you're prepared to take a few risks, maybe. Acknowledgement there, perhaps a little bit lucky on one of those balls. XU Xin just not as aggressive as we're used to seeing him. I don't know whether Fang Bo's tying him up a little bit, but he does perhaps just look a little bit restricted. Fang Bo's taking the initiative here. Beautiful over the table. That was like one of your backhands, Gavin.
Not sure I played a backhand this tournament, but
good footwork, you see, all forehand. Ooh, uncharacteristic errors now on receive as well. We're looking at 2-2 here. Last 16 men's singles, Goros 2015 World Table Tennis Championships here in Suzhou. 8 game points. I don't think I've seen XU Xin 10-2 down very often. Oh! It's back at 2-all. 11 points to 2 for Fang Bo. So as we are level now at 2-all, interesting there to see some spraying going on, Gavin, on the XU Xin shoulder. The magic spray. Magic sponge treatment, as we used to have back in the day. And just in the break, a little bit of insight from Richard Prowse on Fang Bo. Of course, previously a big hope for the Chinese team, but had been injured. But has come back in the last 8 months or so since the summer, playing in the same team as Timo Boll in the Chinese Super League, and has had some good wins, so confidence now coming back for the 23-year-old world rank number 14. So perhaps, Gavin, we'll see more of Fang Bo over the coming hours, days, weeks, months. Always good to see a player coming back from injury. Part and parcel of modern sport, of course.
It's matches like this that can define a Chinese player's career.
Wonderful stuff from XU Xin, fishing it up from all over the court. Lovely big looping forehand that seemed to go round the net.
Always changing the length of that service. White line, slightly off the side of the table, slightly long. And of course, when you serve that direction, you can take the chance to step round. It's unlikely that someone off a heavy chop serve is going to flick down the line, so you can just speed the rally up by getting round.
The noise is down to Jose Hook and Ma Long, another amazing rally over there. Meanwhile, XU Xin plays a wonderful parallel forehand again. And whilst he doesn't look 100% free-flowing, he's created a 3-point advantage here in game 5. Six points played, players toweling down every 6 points. Service now is XU Xin, 2-point advantage.
And just wiping the perspiration off the hand. It is getting a little bit warm in here as the players get into full flow.
Solid now from XU Xin, very, very focused there in his intent, right from the service, followed up by a big third ball. That's XU Xin at his best.
A big third ball and a big shout, and he needs to start getting the adrenaline kicking in so that his footwork can go up, improve.
Yeah, he's been a bit passive. Ordinarily, you see that in players when they're playing against their fellow countrymen or women. But perhaps the injury or slight tension in his shoulder, whatever he has going on, is also kind of keeping him a little bit timid. That's 2 points won with the serve. Now on the receive, 2-6 here, 4-point advantage XU Xin.
And we know what happens when he puts in that reverse serve. The percentage goes up. The likelihood of winning the point is much, much higher. Thinking very clearly is Fang Bo.
There's a career in coaching for you there, Gavin. Key game, this one. The player winning this one will feel very good about taking the match. Best of 7, first to 4.
Thought that was a good play from XU Xin. A little bit more positive. You're not going to make every reloop, not against that quality of receive. Just keeps moving his neck a little bit, trying to free it up. So it's starting to get into his mind. Needs to focus on the table tennis, XU Xin.
Oh, that's the ball of the match. Top of the bounce against the XU Xin spinny opener. Let's see this again. Look at the footwork. In, take the receive, back out. Quite a straight arm in the technique. Boom, down the line.
It would have been a world-class shot had he even have re-looped that on the diagonal. To go down the line there, these guys, it really is world-class stuff. You don't see that from guys outside the top 10 or 15 players.
Oh, he's going for the forehand flick this time. He's going all out here, Fang Bo. He's quietly going about his business as well. Look at the focus. One point advantage now, Fang Bo. Slightly younger of the two players, 23. A few cheers for Ma Long as he has match points on the other table, and also a few cheers for XU Xin. (6-8). Both these players serve and receive, Gavin, is the absolute focus for them both. Not had many rallies in the 5 games so far. Serve and receive, so important.
Good effort from Fang Bo. Deliberately now not pushing too many of the serves back, looking to be proactive himself. Being positive in the mind should help him in this big service sequence that's about to come.
So whilst we're all square here, Gavin, 2 all in games, 8 all in points. Ma Long on the other table has steamed through 4-1 against Republic of Korea's Jo Se-hook. So Ma Long at the very top of the draw is world #1 and #1 seed, safely through to the quarterfinals. And Fang Bo and XU Xin right at the bottom of the draw, opposite ends of the draw to Ma Long, looking to take their places in the quarterfinal as well. XU Xin, 2 points to the good. 10-8 with the serve.
You've got to fancy 2 float serves or 2 little side and top short serves here so that he's going to be in on at least one of these points.
Oh, he went a little bit back perhaps. Good receive from Fang Bo. XU Xin just seemed to pop it slightly. Fang Bo's gone for a good ball parallel, but XU Xin's equal to it. That's 11-8. And that's 3-2 now for XU Xin. Is he closing in here, Gavin, on the quarterfinal?
to serve. Level.
Game 6, Xu Xin with the service. Definitely hesitation there in the Xu Xin forehand. Just discussing up here in the break. Maybe Fang Bo needs to just shift his tactics a little bit, Gavin. Maybe make Xu Xin play a little bit more if he is struggling with the shoulder. Another example where he's a little bit hesitant. Look, taking the racket out of his left hand as he plays this third forehand. Here you'll see it. Maybe Fang Bo just needs to hold the fort a little bit, just block a little bit. Give Xu Xin the chance to perhaps struggle more. Again, Xu Xin just taking his time to settle down again. Fang Bo just watching him. Xu Xin hesitating a lot now. Oh, nice play from Fang Bo. Nice sound of the ball clipping on the touch-to-touch there.
Nice safe reloop there. Playing the ball back on the diagonal. Making Xu Xin have to work now for every point.
It's not the Xu Xin that we know here. Let's just see how his facial expression goes here, if we can see it. It's just not as smooth as it normally is on that forehand.
Low 5.
See, I don't think Fang Bo has to go for that ball. If Xu Xin's struggling, then why isn't he just containing him there? He's blown that off the end. He's given Xu Xin a point. Maybe he just contains that one a little bit more. If Xu Xin's struggling, he certainly looks the body language now as he towels down at 1-5 down. Difficult in the mind of Xu Xin when you're just carrying a bit of an injury. It can play havoc, but equally for Fang Bo, could just distract him somewhat as well.
You can see Fang Bo looking down the other side of the table. He knows he's got a huge chance now. It'd be a miracle if you were going to make that reloop. The ball's skidding extremely low. That's definitely a ball to just lollipop block back, keep your racket high, stay in the point.
It's 3 points. 3 free points Fang Bo's given away. Again, Gavin, another block there would have sufficed perhaps, because Xu Xin doesn't even look aggressive there. He doesn't look like he's hunting the next ball down. But Fang Bo's put it in the net. No hesitation on that one though.
It's very similar to the ball that he made when he was under pressure yesterday against Russia's Shabayev. He had to make 2 or 3 ridiculous reloops from deep.
Bo should flick one wide out the Xu Xin forehand. He's going short, short all the time. He should try and push Xu Xin a little bit, I think.
Fan Bo, he's reluctant to play backhands at the moment. His mindset is, I'm going to touch and I'm going to get a forehand in, but it's not as easy as that sometimes. Needs to get back into the little side and top spin, reverse serve, where he knows he can start with the third ball, especially if he's thinking forehand.
That's better.
And sometimes it's a little bluff to your opponent. For one rally, you sit, you hold, you hold, you hold. Okay, come at me. What shots have you got?
Tactical game, mental game. Worth changing it up now and again in a match, of course. Oh, that was an impossible shot to take on there. He has missed the last few, though. Aye, aye, aye. That was incredibly low.
From the commentary position, we were sitting there thinking, this ball's going to hit the stands. But it hit the table. Incredible shot.
Surely got to give Fang Bo some confidence now. It's a good receive as well. I still think he should go long. Still going short on the receive. Could we be seeing a 7th and decisive game here in this last 16? Round 4 match. Bad miss from Xu Xin. Fang Bo went short again. Must have been a little bit of a float service. Oh, Fang Bo's nearly sat on the umpire's knee here. The side spin from Xu Xin. Fantastic talent.
A little change of pace there would have won the rally though. Going fast, fast, fast when your opponent's already at the back of the court. It's not too intelligent.
Play maybe into the backhand.
Definitely.
It's quite unilateral in terms of the tactics here from both players, isn't it? But now at 10-6, back to the Xu Xin serve, but Fang Bo, opportunities now to level at 3 games all.
Fang Bo with 3 more chances.
heavy backspin serve, that one. Good variation from XU Xin. Wouldn't have expected Fang Bo to make too many mistakes. They should know each other's games and services quite well. Fang with his services now, 2 of 10-8 to bring it to 3-3.
It's time to man up, Fang Bo. Big service sequence. And that wasn't very manly. Little lollipop block, he needs to attack. One more service left. Does he go back to the serve that has worked wonders so far? We've said it many times now, the little reverse, side and top. Can he do this under pressure though? And he has!
You called it.
Absolutely incredible. The hand was sweaty, the palm of the hand was sweaty, but he was able to take it. And there's confirmation on the screen that Fang Bo takes the 6th set, 11-9. We'll be back shortly.
So Fang Bo indeed wins game number 6 to level at 3-all, and there's just a hesitation here as the other players are announced on the other table, table 1. But Fang Bo on table 2 gets off to a stonking start with that backhand. All up for grabs here now, Gavin. Who is going through to the quarter-final? Will Fang Bo adjust his tactics? Perhaps reduce the levels of risk and just make XU Xin play again. This shoulder of XU Xin's just causing him to be a little bit hesitant. Not used to seeing him like that, specifically at this stage of a tournament. He's usually free-flowing by now, with his eyes on the podium.
Back to the trusty high toss serve. And that's got to play on his mind when you've got a forehand as good as XU Xin's, and he's missed a few in the last couple of sets.
His shoulder must be starting to have an impact, Gavin. I'm sure he's going to try and hang in here, though. I guess if he can get through, maybe get some more physio, some more treatment, maybe there's a chance of being okay for future matches. What a ball. A little bit lucky there, perhaps. Clip the edge. Let's just have another look.
Yeah, just clips the edge, but he knew what he was doing. And XU Xin now takes his time out, trailing 4-1 in this decider. He can't get any more treatment. He is where he is. Perhaps is he? Bit of ice. And a bit of spray. Turns his head so as to not to get any in his eyes. 34 seconds worth of spray and ice left. Will it be enough to make the difference, Gavin? Fang Bo needs to stay focused. Very easy for him now to become distracted, maybe even sympathetic. He has to stay focused on his game. Maybe make a little adjustment based on the circumstances, but certainly not become weak in his approach. Stay focused, stay concentrated.
It's nice for Fang Bo, showing intent here. I'm ready to play. I don't need the full minute timeout.
Now, the timeout time may have lapsed. Are we going to have a treatment period here? Umpire now over with XU Xin.
So XU Xin is perfectly in his right to take the full 10-minute injury time if needs be. He's been playing on his mind since set 2, and we've progressed half an hour since then.
Fang Bo won't want to win under these circumstances, I'm guessing. And XU Xin certainly won't want to lose. But such is the situation we find ourselves in. Physio there, putting some wrap round. You see that quite a lot nowadays. You see the wrap going round on the ice pack to keep it close on shoulders or arms or legs. You see it a lot on legs. So we could have 10 minutes here of injury time. Interesting time to take it as well. I mean, if it was playing on his mind, like you were saying, Gavin, from game 2, that's a long, long time. He finds himself 4-1 down in the 7th. Even if he did get back to full power, and I don't think that's possible, but say he's at 90% right now, maybe 80%. Let's say he's 80% right now. If he even gets back to 90 or 95%, he's still trailing 4-1.
I think the game now will depend purely on Fang Bo. Can he take his opportunity? He's waited years for this chance. And there's no better time than a huge world championship in his own country.
Just taking some fluids on board as well. As I was saying, I think in the introduction, players have played 3 times previously, the head-to-head record on the ITTF website. And it is XU Xin who leads 2-1 in that head-to-head statistic. But Fang Bo actually won the last match between the two. That was at the 2014 GAC Group World Tour Swedish Open. And that was back in December last year, 2014. The score was 4-2. It was in the semi-final there. Previous encounters also in 2014, Korea Open, won by XU Xin 4-1. And the time before that was back in 2012 at the Russia Open. That was a 4-0 win for XU Xin in the semi-final there. In fact, the one before at the Korea Open was the final. So they've met in later stages of events, 2 semi-finals and a final. This one, okay, only the last 16, but the last 16 at the World Championships is indeed still something. So is Fang Bo on the road to leveling the head-to-head at 2-2, putting himself into the quarter-final? The winner of this would play in the quarter-final, the winner of Patrick Franziska of Germany and Ko Lei of Ukraine. And that, in actual fact, is the next match up after this one. Those two players, Gavin, will have to be preparing themselves outside the hall. They're already delayed. That match was already supposed to be on at 1 o'clock, 13 minutes ago. They'll have to adjust their preparation, perhaps. Stay warm. Maybe a little bit more fluid, maybe a banana, something like that, while they're waiting.
And it's quite a distance between the main hall and the practice hall. So once they've come through here and they see this, they might not want to trek all the way back through there to hit a ball again. So that'll bring the anxiety levels up before they start their match. I think Fang Bo is doing the right thing here to be walking around the court, keeping a little bit warm. What I would like to see, and what we see sometimes in tennis matches, is get someone out from the crowd, or we get someone who can play a little bit of table tennis or tennis, whatever the sport may be, and give a little bit of a warm-up to Fang Bo. I would love to see that right now. It's probably not going to happen, but that would get the crowd jumping in here, I'm sure.
Well, I can cover the commentary, Gavin, if you fancy getting out there.
I think he needs a little bit of multi-ball, doesn't he? Keep those legs pinging.
I guess the other element might be because the other table's in play, and maybe, I know what you're saying, I think that would be awesome, but perhaps it would be distracting for the players on the other table. Meanwhile, he's back on his feet, he's back in the court, ice bag removed, stretching it off. Crowd now giving a few chants. Not easy now, right? Maybe that was 5 minutes rather than the full 10, but he's been sat down. His arms had ice on it. Not easy to get right back into the groove. Trails 4-1. Not even going to hit a couple of balls because we're not in, it's not a broken ball, right? So straight back into it. Fang Bo with the serve, 4-1. He's got to fancy his chances here. I wonder, did he have time to reflect on which serve he's going to do here, Gavin? Is he going to follow your lead and go for the reverse? He's not, but it's the first time he's come in against the serve like that on the backhand side. That's a wonderful topspin. What an angle. As they change ends halfway through the 7th and last game of this match. That was a great shot to play after a 5-minute break.
That's a lovely opening up shot from XU Xin. It was a decent receive from Fang Bo, didn't do too much wrong. And if the server can also follow up here with a second point in succession, this would be interesting. And he does! Huge loop-to-loop rally. We've not seen many rallies yet. We see on screen. Look how far he had to move round there to get the forehand in. considering the break. We've had 3 extremely good points so far on the resumption.
Oh, the forehand might be back in the groove here from XU Xin. The man in yellow's pinged another one there. The drama is unfolding. The chapter is being written. What is the outcome going to be? 5-4, second of 2 serves from Fang Bo. Is he going to do the Gavin Rumsey advice reverse? It's too easy there for XU Xin. Fang Bo's handed it to him on a plate there last point. Very poor short ball. Straight to him, didn't make him move, didn't make him swing. Didn't play to the forehand where he's having all the issues. Interesting, interesting. Not great tactics from Fang Bo. Forehand effective this time from XU Xin. I don't know if there's a wry smile there. Watch this. Ay, ay, ay. He's now a little bit of a smile going. Didn't win the point though. It looked good, it was amazing. It'll be rerun, no doubt, many times, but he didn't win the point. Would have been 7-5, instead it's 6-6.
You can hear that filtering round the crowd as well.
Fair play, Fang Bo. He's trying to stick to his guns here. It's been one-way traffic in terms of the tactics that he's deployed. I'm not sure how close it would be if XU Xin was 100%. But Fang Bo won't be worrying about that. He's got to take on what's in front of him. He leads 7-6.
The reverse serve has just dried up.
He's not used it in the last sequence or two. And in fact, this whole game, arguably.
And in a 7th set, it's not about playing shots. It's thinking tactically, keeping your mind clear.
Fang Bo perhaps suffering from not having the input of a coach, given it's China against China. He's still going short on the receive. It's very easy. Even if you're injured, you can get in over the table and play that ball.
A little bit of a bouncy serve. He got away with that. Probably happy that it resulted in a let serve.
Again, Fang Bo should just be playing that onto the table. Make the rally longer. Put the pressure on XU Xin's physicality. 3-all, 8-8. Match has been going 1 hour and 22 minutes. There was a 5-minute break with the injury to Xu Xin and the ice pack on his shoulder. He's given himself the hard things to do here, Fang Bo, having to counterspin against that spinny ball from Xu Xin, the backhand. He's making it difficult for himself. I'm not sure it necessarily has to be. Nonetheless, he leads 9-8.
Blocking doesn't seem to be in Fang Bo's repertoire.
No.
But I still think if he's going to win this, he has to attack. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. Is the hand loose enough for a reverse serve?
It wasn't. And he has 10-8, Fang Bo. The 23-year-old, world-ranked 14, has match points, 2 of them against 25-year-old world-ranked number 2, Xu Xin, the man with the troubled shoulder here. Does he go all out in the first one, Fang Bo, and go for an aggressive flick? He's gone for the touch, he's popped it. He's not making Xu Xin do anything extraordinary. He's touched every one of the serves. I even knew he was probably going to touch that one short. No variation in the receive at all from Fang Bo.
So does Fang Bo now take a chance and step round with his backhand receive, spin up with the backhand receive and hope that Xu Xin misses a reloop? We're going to find out.
That's exactly what happened, Gavin, and Xu Xin made it happen. He converted it. Hoping wasn't enough for Fang Bo.
3-3, 10-10. Look at that. This is going down to the wire.
Set plays. It's all about the set plays. It's 3-all. It's juice.
It's 1 hour, 24 minutes to get to this stage. There can be only one winner. There can be only one quarter-finalist out of this match. Who will it be?
He made the block, Fang Bo. I've seen Xu Xin ping those ones down the line.
Not to be this time, and he has his third match point, Fang Bo. Will he go for the flick again, Gavin? Will he go for the touch short?
And is Xu Xin loose enough to get the spin on the serve?
All. Not sure about Fang Bo's tactics here, though well read by Xu Xin. Gets round on the backhand corner, plays a great ball. He's hanging in. Another match point saved. 3 in total. Back to Juice. Great service.
That was a fast, short serve, if that makes any sense. Beautiful timing.
Surely he's got to risk one here, Fang Bo. Do something different. Do something different from the short touch and the backhand reverse. Come in on the forehand, push him wide out the forehand. Do something different. It'll be interesting to see the reaction of the two players. There's the apology for the edge. There's the camaraderie. We'll just see it again. He was surviving here. Surely he makes it. Oh, no, it wasn't. Surely he makes it. No, he doesn't. XU Xin hanging in there, Gavin.
Unbelievable and incredible sportsmanship at the end. Two role models, two great professional players in the sport of table tennis. What an advert for this game.
But it's that man, FANG who hangs in, makes his way through to the quarter-final. All the scores on the screen, 4-3, FANG